We all know by now that TCL makes great TVs, but what's their phone game like? Well, let's find out. What's up? I'm Mike, and welcome back to BenderTube, where you get bite-sized tutorials and tech reviews so you know you should get it or forget it. TCL is pretty well known for making great TVs at budget prices, but you probably never heard of their phones till just a couple months ago. Apparently, they're no strangers to smartphones, though. They've been putting out phones under the Alcatel brand, which I have reviewed before, and even under BlackBerry. Yes, that BlackBerry. Tiny little keyboard, briefcase, Karen, business exec, BBM BlackBerry. So yeah, they've been around the block a few times. But getting back on track, TCL sent over the TCL 10 Pro for me to review. And just in case you're new here, you don't know, it doesn't matter if the company sent me something or if I bought it with my own money. You're getting an honest opinion either way. And with the current situation going on, I definitely wanted to make sure I had enough time to know where this shines or where it falls short. So I've actually been reviewing this since June. Now, at first glance, it's not really shocking or jarring or anything. The most you're going to get out of is maybe a little confusion because unlike most phones, the volume rocker is on the right instead of the left. It's rocking a Snapdragon 675, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, which you can expand to 256 gigs with a micro SD card. So you're not having to worry about storage or anything, but the specs are all pretty average. And that's kind of the point. Priced at $450 on Amazon, it's going against mid-tier phones. Now, just like their TVs, TCL is making the displays for these phones as well. So the 6.47-inch AMOLED screen on this is looking clear, bright, and vibrant. 6.47 inches. That's a big phone. And I know that I said I'm not big on big phones. That's why I opted not to get the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And there's just a big problem with those phones for me, and it's just most of the time they're too wide. The difference here with the TCL 10 Pro is it's just a little bit narrow, and it's that much more comfortable for me to use. It does have an under-display fingerprint sensor, which is great to unlock your phone. I really haven't had any issues with it. Sometimes it is a little slow to register. It also supports HDR10 on the display and what they're calling Next Vision, which gives it some color boosting and upscaling. And all I gotta say is you're really not gonna hate watching Netflix or YouTube videos on this phone. The curved edges might take a little bit of getting used to if you're coming from a phone with a flat screen, but that feeling fades fast. What you're not gonna get over though is the speaker quality. The bottom firing speaker is trash. It's just honestly trash. It's where it says music and podcasts. First thing we're gonna do is link new service. It's not very good at all, but you really might not even have to worry about it because this is one of the few phones that actually still has a headphone jack. So you could just put in some wired headphones, enjoy your content on the train, or just drown out your girlfriend when she's nagging you on the couch. If you flip it over, there's actually a pretty impressive array of cameras here. First, you have the standard wide-angle lens with a mere 64 megapixel sensor. Then you have a lens for shooting low-light videos, a macro lens for those close-ups, and finally the ultra-wide angle for just doing the exact opposite. There's also a 24 megapixel selfie cam, which does just fine, and the camera app isn't half bad either. It's built so you could basically just whip out your phone and take a quick shot and be happy with it, or it's got a bunch of pro modes on it so that way you can actually just dial in and get that perfect landscape. The 10 Pro has a huge 4,500 milliamp hour battery. It's supposed to get you 18 hours of talk time, and for what I've seen, about a 2-day battery under normal use. It's basically the perfect phone for Pokemon Go for me, especially on community day, because I can basically get through the whole thing before I have to plug it in. And unfortunately, when it is time to plug in the phone, you do have to plug it in. There is no Qi charging on this phone, but it does have Quick Charge 3.0 up to 18 watts, and that's going to get you about a 50% battery in 30 minutes. So you're not waiting around too long to get through the rest of your day. What I like the most about this phone is the amount of shortcuts that it includes. Seriously, if TCL added any more shortcuts to this phone, this next part would be a complaint instead of a compliment. There are that many. The most accessible thing is the smart key located on the left side. You press it and it can open up either your favorite app or one of a bunch of different features like toggling do not disturb mode, the flashlight, or opening to a specific camera. Add system gestures like double pressing the power button to quick open the camera, and you get a bunch of different features without actually unlocking your phone. But if you do hold down on that fingerprint sensor a little bit longer when you're unlocking it, you can open up 4 more quick launch things, either one of those functions or your favorite app. And if that's not the thing for you, fine, don't worry about it. Swipe in from the right side of the screen for the edge bar, and you can open up any number of apps that you picked, quick contacts, and you can measure anything under 4 inches with a nice degree of accuracy. Now, there are some gimmicky things in here too. First off is the IR blaster, which lets you point the phone at a bunch of different things and you can control them. But the control level is a bit basic, and honestly, if you have one of their TCL Roku TVs, you'd just be better off getting the Roku app. That's going to allow you to open up channels directly, give you more functionality, and also gives you the added benefit of plugging in headphones to your phone and listening to the TV through that. The other feature here is the Super Bluetooth. That lets you connect multiple speakers together and play them around the room, all synchronized together. Video's pretty decent too, as long as you calibrate the speakers beforehand. It usually syncs it together. You don't hear too much between the two. But this is Bluetooth, so it's not good for like multi-room audio if you're having a party around the house. It doesn't really work out too well. For something like that, you're going to want to create a speaker group with Google Home, Google Nest, or an Amazon Echo speaker group. And yeah, while you do have better audio quality than what's coming out of the bottom of your phone, do remember you're still watching video on your phone. You're not going to have a group of 10 people huddled around you while you play 4 speakers. This thing's best for like walking around with a buddy, or just like sitting on the beach or something, playing a couple speakers, or even just sitting in a plane, headphones in, watching a movie with a loved one. So, should you get it or forget it? For $450, it's not really a bad choice. There's definitely a lot in this price range right now with stuff like the Pixel 4a, the Pixel 4a 5G, but the TCL 10 Pro has solid battery life, a great display, decent cameras, and a snappy interface with a ton of built-in shortcuts. Now, I'm not saying this is the best mid-range phone you could get out there, but it's definitely something you should put on your short list if you're considering a new device. So, does the TCL 10 Pro pique your curiosity or something else have your attention? Let me know down in the comments section, and that's it for me today, guys. If you liked the video, found it helpful anyway, leave a like, leave a comment, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.